Hello, I'm Robert Dixon, a partner at IO Oil and Gas Consulting. This is a difficult time for many independent E&Ps. A combination of lack of available investment debt and low product prices have closed the door to usual funding routes. As a partner lead for Africa, my role is to help independent E&Ps enable field development projects using IO's integrated approach to field development, which includes considering finance models. IO has revived a leveraged project finance model, which was initially used in the 1970s. The leveraged project finance model allows E&Ps to raise finance on an individual project basis in a way that wouldn't otherwise be available to the license holder, and to enable contractors and license holders to collaborate with the appropriate allocation of risk within the project. The key to this funding is the Special Purpose Vehicle, or SPV, a ring-fenced bankruptcy remote entity that holds the finances, cash flows, and the fixed assets of the project for the purposes of execution and cost recovery. Stakeholders in the project who manage the operational risks, such as the contractors, suppliers and sponsors, become shareholders in the SPV, with the financial risk that they take sized to the value of their equipment and services pull-through. Additionally, this model allocates the project completion risk to the contractors without them having claims or entitlement to reserves or production volumes. The SPV works as a single asset commercial entity. In the IO version, debt is raised, sized on the P90 production level, which is then used by the contractors to build equipment and execute services. Once execution is complete, the value of the equipment is capitalized to the SPV, thus providing the contractor equity stake in the SPV. In total, this provides around 80 to 85% of the required field development finance, with the license holders or sometimes the off-takers providing the remaining capital. The SPV uses a limited recourse loan, which is only repaid after first production from operating revenues. The SPV raises finance, installs and operates the fixed assets until cost and full margin recovery. The SPV repayment is based on a tariff or a fixed price per unit of production based on an expected project production profile. Provisions are of course made for low reservoir outcome scenarios to minimise the risk to the SPV debt provider. As the project is highly leveraged, and traditionally the cost of debt being less expensive than the cost of equity, the overall cost of capital of the SPV is usually highly competitive and often better than the overall cost of capital that the E&P could achieve by itself. Once the debt and equity repayments have been fully repaid, the SPV entity transfers the full commercial entity back to the license holders. This is known as the BuildOperate Transfer project model. At IO, we have formulated a contractor-led version of the leveraged project finance model specific to the oil and gas industry, where the SPV consortium is made up of the contractors involved in the project, such as the EPIC contractor, the equipment providers and the rig provider. This model includes a capped CapEx model, locking in costs for the license holder and thus putting completion risk within the contractor consortium domain. The consortium members are incentivized by project completion risk, as repayment is subject to their overall execution performance. SPV repayment starts once operating revenues are available, calculated to enable shareholders to recover debt, costs and margins. Bonuses and penalties are applied to the contractor group and their ability to meet the operational KPIs of the installed assets. The advantages of the IO contractor-led project finance model from the perspective of the license holder include: the key members of the project are incentivized by completion date. It enables contractor repayment only when operating revenue is available. It provides an alternative source of capital from a tier 1 source. It limits license holder exposure as a capped capex model mitigates cost creep and scope creep. The IO contractor-led leverage project finance model has been applied to subsea, major LNG infrastructure, shared gas infrastructure and brownfield redevelopment projects. We regularly enter partnering agreements with license holders and have helped a number of projects in West Africa. If you have funding challenges for field development or want to make your current funds go further, we would like to hear from you. Contact us at hello@iooilandgas.com.